Hi, welcome back to Out There with Ryan. So overnight the weather forecast was saying we were going to get some snow and there'd be plenty of snow today. It hasn't eventuated that way and I don't think it will. And to be honest, that's a good thing. We don't need snow. There's snow on the hills around us and it is quite brisk right now. So this morning I'm going to load up with some firewood first, get that back to the family, keep them warm. And then I'm going to head down and feed the cows. I'm going to shift them out of that paddock they're currently on and then put them into their new paddock with fresh pasture for them to graze. And I'll probably keep them in that next paddock for a couple of weeks. So I'm going to crack on with it. It might shower a little bit here soon, but yeah, let's get on with it. Okay, so it's much later in the day. It's time to get these cows moved. I can hear them bellowing at me. There's nothing left in that front paddock, so we've got to get them into a new paddock with new pasture. I've got some baleage. We'll put that in the paddock. We'll set up some brake fences, drag them through, then we're on our way. Let's go. Man, oh man, it's getting frosty out here. We better close the gate, Ryan. That'd be a good idea, huh? Got the baleage on the ground, not much. Look at all the grass in this paddock, and I fenced it off. That's snow. Definitely snow up on the hill. Definitely snow up on the hill. Did it get dark quick today? Wow. Probably doing this about an hour later than I should. Grab these standards. Don't want to forget those and bale them up into a medium square in summer. That'll be fun for our contractors. So the good news is we've got some happy cows. Good news for my sanity. Right, we're on. We're sorted. I questioned whether I was going to put that baleage in this paddock tonight. Because I looked around, there's that much grass in here. No, they're having a good feed on that. And it's warm and it's dry and it's tasty and sweet, so that's good. All right, girls. Until tomorrow morning. We've got a windstorm coming tomorrow and I haven't finished staking the trees down the drive. And I've also got one more tree to plant. So while I've got some sunlight this afternoon, I'm gonna head down, plant that last tree and make a start with those stakes, because I'm afraid that if I don't get those stakes around those trees, I'm gonna have some broken trees tomorrow. I didn't get around to planting this tree the other day because this hole was just too wet. It's much better now, so we'll get it in the ground. I don't think these trees wanted to be in these plastic pots too much longer, otherwise they would start to be pretty badly root bound. So I think we've got them at a good time. Norwest is that way. That's where we get our prominent winds from. So I'm more inclined to get this tree facing that direction. You'll see the kink in it. I'm going to face it that way so it's leaning into the wind. Well, that's the last tree in the ground. So the last thing to do to complete this tree is to get a couple of stakes in the ground around it to hold it in place so that wind doesn't break it off or move the roots too much. I think 45 centimeters on each side is going to be plenty, and sort of parallel with that fence if I can, because if it's not, I'll come home and see it and it'll frustrate me no end. All right. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Love it. Love it. Until you step back and look at it. God, that's out of plumb. Okay, you'll have to forgive me. So the last thing to do to stake this tree is to use some of this tape, and we're going to attach it to the post with these nail plates. Well, it's a couple of days later now, and I didn't get a chance to stake all those trees down the drive. Surprise, surprise. I only got 3 done. I was panicking a little bit that night because as those winds intensified, I thought I was going to wake up the next morning with just broken trees. Luckily, no damage. So while the sun's out, I've got to get on with it. I've got to get them finished today. The main reason why I've got to get them staked is because of the predominant wind here in Canterbury, the northwest wind. It causes us havoc here every year, mainly in spring, but throughout the year we will get pretty strong winds from that direction in particular. And in the past we've had 150k wind plus here. We've lost a lot of trees, sadly, and then others have been on 45-degree angles that we've had to cut down. So if I don't get those staked, they will break, they will get damaged. So I've just got to get on with it and get it finished. One thing I love about these, you can see here that you can fold it and it will stay folded. And I've done that with every one of them. Now the reason why I've been doing that is these will fray apart at the ends. So if you're not doing that and you're putting a staple here, you run the risk of these falling apart over time. Now, like I've mentioned, with 150k winds, that is highly likely to occur. What I like about this tree strap is you can fold it and it'll stay folded. And if you fold it back on itself and then you put the staple through this part here, there's no way that that's going to come frayed at the end. So good move. I just found this in my local hardware. The other thing I really like are these nail plates. I knew that when I was going to put these trees in the ground, I wanted to find some sort of solution that would be better than just a nail or a screw. I was contemplating screws of just washers, large washers, but I thought there's got to be something better out there. These are what's better out there. They're specifically for this. And what I like about it is if you could potentially keep two of them together like that, and you could put two of these right across there. That'd be a good idea. I think it's overkill. I've just been using one, and they come in gangs of 5, and you just bend them back and forwards, and then they're individual. They can be a little bit annoying to get started, and so what I found, and then trying to keep the tree taped there and everything, it can be a little bit fiddly. Once you get used to it, you'll be fine. But what I found was holding it by the bottom, just trying to get it started on the top, and then you could move your thumb and give it a good smack and it would go in. These are great. These aren't going to go anywhere. It's going to keep the tree strap in place for as long as I need it there. So I annoyingly ran out of tree strapping tape, so I'm going to have to go to the hardware in the morning and get some more. I've got 5 more trees to go. Always the way. Well, thank you very much for watching today. It's so great to get those trees not only in the ground, but get them staked just to prevent any future damage and that violent wind that we get here so regularly. This really is the best time of year to get them planted in these cooler months so that their roots can start to establish, and then when they get to spring, they'll be away. But I think we'll leave this one here today. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.